What's going on, everybody? It is me, Spencer Lyon here. For those that don't know, 2012 started a brand called Gully Garms. Not actually here, but this has been the final place of it, or the final current place. So I want to just give a little outline as to what this video is going to be. And it's not a bad video, but I think hopefully I'm going to just kind of explain this. Now, I talk about momentum a lot, right? And I talk about the importance of it. I think a lot of what the videos have came from over this sort of journey of self-discovery with daily content is momentum is key. Momentum has been a key point of growth, of maintenance to that growth, and keeping things moving. Momentum, the art of it moving without you needing to put too much force on it. And I think I've realized that there's a frictional point in the momentum I have currently with daily videos on YouTube. For me personally, I try and look at things as to how sustainable they are and how sustainable they are with where they can be. And I know that for most people right now, this is probably just a thing for me, for letting you know, and most people are more than happy to go with the flow and understand. But I've lost my momentum with daily videos, and as a result, I've lost my momentum to be able to do daily. I'm going to leave this hat on actually, blimey O'Reilly. I've lost my momentum to do daily videos. But I don't think it's just that. And I want to just bring this through. And I'm going to make this video a little bit more valuable than just this. But I don't think it's just that. I think that what happens in life a lot of the time is you're doing so many different things, right? You balance your social life. You figure out your financial stuff. You understand where your mental, your emotional, and your physical, your health is. And then you kind of see if there's room for passion projects. You kind of see if where you've got. And I'm in the inverse of all of it, right? Don't really focus on social or personal and build that sort of stuff. But the work side is the most important thing, and it still sits in my most important part of me. I believe that because it's been the one thing that's been consistent for me. But in short, what I'm trying to say is I think I'm burning the candle at both ends. And I think that whilst making daily videos is great, because I like the art of journaling it every day, what's not sustainable is my own health approach towards that. Making videos every day and putting out them to a certain standard. I think what I realise is the standard can drop when you do it every day, because quality is only as good as the time you allow it to become quality. Whereas what quantity does is it's saying, here, if someone's got 4 videos and they post 4 videos every day, the person who posts 1 a day, that video is going to be probably 4 times better than the 4 videos that they've broken down. Obviously, relative to how big your team is and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? The more things you put out, the less the quality will probably be if you're doing it on your own. And that, in this situation, is me. So where I'm at right now with everything that's going on is there's a lot of exciting changes with business. There's a lot of exciting potential things that are going on that I can't really disclose too much right now. And it's that typical thing. But as a result of all that goes on, I'm actually trying to manage the business side of things whilst making a lot of content. And obviously, as you lot know, TikTok has started to go in a direction positive as well. And I'm trying to water all of the plants at the same time and give them the right nourishment. But unfortunately, along the way of that, I've kind of realized I've lost a part of the excitement for making the daily videos, which I want to be a constant theme if I'm going to make them. So I think that realistically the best approach to go forward with this is a video every week on a Monday that will basically be a roundup of the week from the Monday to the Sunday and coming out on the Monday. So you'll see the start of the week to the middle of the week to how it goes to the live streams, the in-between bits. Plus how I'm seeing or thinking with this to do is to have bits where I'm sitting down talking like this. Have bits in the video where I'm narrating and the shots that go over. Have the little silly bits. Basically, the life of Gully, but it's over a week period. So the video will probably be an hour, but the clips that I collect over a week are going to be so much more thought out points. And I mean this with genuine honesty. Those that enjoy the videos that I'm creating at the moment and say, this is great, big love to all of you individually, because you are helping my mindset around the momentum for it. But I just kind of thought, well, what if I make a video that was once a week and it's an hour long? It's just going to be so is either going to be so much tighter, it's going to be so much more real as an approach, but also there'll genuinely be things that I'll capture through the week in those moments, whether it's whether it's a 2-minute conversation with Marge, whether it's a 5-minute thought like this. You know, every day I post videos, and this is just me not justifying things, this is just me explaining it because it helps me process it as well. But you see, making a video every day, there's that pressure to assume that there's going to be something that happens each day that you can include that's worth showing. Whereas with a week, it sits in this way of like less pressure to know that you're not doing it every day. And it's not like getting to Wednesday and going, oh my God, nothing's happened. Because that's like sometimes what happens with a real week. Like some days I might not need to post or might not need to make content each day. And that day that I don't make content helps the next day be a better approach to content, because I genuinely miss it when I don't do it. But I feel like there's too much of a good thing and too much of something that's being put out. So as of like this video now moving forward, this will be the last video until next Monday. So you'll be seeing this on Tuesday. So what you will see now will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on Monday, and then the same again. And what I'm hoping that will do is just give you good insight into the week, give you the value, and hopefully give you some points points of like interest of what's going on. Because I want the video to be value. I'll realize that essentially how a video sits to me as 100% is like 100% of it has to be authentic and real, but like 25% of it really needs to be like educational value and teaching. 25%, the other 25% needs to be relaxed, comical, light content, because it's not all about teaching you guys. It's also about just being a human and showing that human sort of side. And then the other 50% of just like an amalgamation of all the other bits, from the thoughts to the feelings to the whatever the responses are of things. I'm going to take that moving forward. Feel free to let me know what you think about that in this sort of scheme and scope. But I feel like I'm not going to make this video a waste about that, and that's me just like disclaimering that first. So hopefully this is a longer video and there's more value in it anyway. But it's going to be a one shot, as that's just a bit of a convenient point at the moment. So the moving parts right now, lots of things that are going on, whether it's live streams, website uploading, consultancy, kilo sale preparation, a different business, influencer affiliated stuff, like loads of different points and parts. And I'm going to use this part of the video to just give you some advice on the art of slowing down, or the art of being aware when to slow down. Because it's taken me, I don't think I'll ever learn it, to be honest with you, but like it's taken me a lot of time to understand like the speed that I do. So let me just make the important process on this, and this maybe is just something that I'm telling to you. So Spen, when you watch this back, this is also to you about slowing down, so you can take this in and do it yourself. Like the art of slowing down. What happens with most of the things that we do is we realize that there's so many things that we've got to do, but we just try and do them all at the same time. We try and give them all an even amount over time. But what happens as a result of that is we like integrate small like pockets of value to each part that we actually do. So the simple way of looking at things is knowing that you only can do like one thing at once, right? Like you can only do one task at a time. I can only record this video for YouTube now, but I can't edit it now. I can't create the thumbnail. I can't prepare stuff for a live stream. So those thoughts exist at the same time simultaneously to this, but they are separate to that. And what I almost interpret slowing down as is calming the sound of the to-do list in your mind when you are doing part of that to-do list. And Theo Von, who's a great comedian, says that like you don't want life to feel like a to-do list, but it does. But that's like the internal state that you can sit in being in business. Like you can sit in that internal state of, and there's always this constant to-do list. And really one of the biggest driving points that you have to like pull out of the busyness, or pull out of this chaoticness, is finding your inner contentment with what it is you're doing. Now, I've got a good friend, Sam, who talks about contentment a lot, and I want to use the contentment point to talk about something with business, about why business owners don't really know how the art of contentment works because of the lack of slowing down that they experience. Most business owners that you would speak to or will know by proxy of what they do will have like multiple phones, multiple emails, multiple things, lots of continual things going on at the same time. And as a result of that, and even back to the point of you can only do one thing at once, like the multitasking is still, you're multitasking, but you're just swapping between two tasks, aren't you? My point of what I'm trying to get to is why slowing down and why being a business can really like affect parts of like the journey and the parts of where you are is you don't sit in the victories of your moments of success to sit there and go, yeah, I did it. I'm proud of me, because there's always something else. So, and I have this conversation with friends all the time about like other similar minded business friends about like the art of like slowing your mind down or like how to figure it out. Some things I've done in the past is meditating, like mindful counseling, and just focusing on the art of being gratitude and grateful and remembering like I only get 24 hours if I'm lucky, and the day I'm here now, I'm present, so I should take the most of it. But to go to the point about slowing down with business, and it's more so about one of the biggest problems for being in a business. So this could be an inverted way of me saying to you guys, if you want to be a business person, be aware of this, but this is just me talking, you know the vibe. When you are a business owner and you have multiple things going on, the biggest disadvantage to my knowledge that's on the surface that you have is not being able to sit and appreciate the thing you did that you finished. So people try and teach and educate the art of like creating like checkpoints to create completion points. So you're like, you know, this video is, it's like, this video is an achievement if I do it, even if I don't edit it, like, and even if I didn't upload it, this is an achievement because it's a thought and a moment in time where I stopped, remained still, and I got out what I think about a situation. But the issue with business owners is because of how fast the mind moves and how fast the to-do list seems to sort of be almost like it's on a constant conveyor belt in your mind of like this and this and this. You never sit there and appreciate the thing you do. And I think that when you compound the ignorance to the things you do, it's more difficult to start to be proud of where you are because it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel natural. I've had certain people say that they're proud of me before, like people, but being proud of myself for the things I've done is always like a hard thing to kind of go, no, be proud. But that's something that's probably sits a lot more with your own ego, but it's the business mindset. It's knowing that how can I be proud about this thing that I've done because there's 100 other things that I need to do. And then this is where it kind of integrates with slowing down. Now, slowing down is almost accepting that you can't do everything. And it almost feels like slowing down, I can't use analogies or things enough to sort of say, slowing down in business might just be taking a day off. Slowing down in business might be doing a third of your to-do list. Slowing down in business might be realizing that you can't do everything. And I'm at the third point of slowing down because I've just got to the point of like almost accountability to that point of like something has to change so that I can process it. And yeah, that's almost gone back to that point I was making at the start. Slowing down, the art of it. Why is it important? Because you want to appreciate what you do. You want to really compound them achievements. You want to really focus on like being proud of it, of what it is you've done, and realizing when you do something and you're accountable for like that success. People do it in different ways. People journal. People will make lists, you know, through a day, like a bit of a sort of like literally like not a discovery, but it's almost like I did this and I did this and I did this. And sometimes just doing that and writing it and seeing it helps the mind understand and process it. But I just think that one of the biggest things that I've learned about myself, or one of the biggest things that I want to pass on from being in business, and remember, I don't do Gully in the same capacity that I did, right? I used to have 15 to 16 employees. I had like 10, 20 models on the books at all time, just on rotation every week. Had all this stuff. constantly multiple moving parts as one person and loads of other people. But I never really stopped and sat and enjoyed, or like, I enjoyed it all the time, but like, I never sat and took note of something to be proud of with it. And I think that like, because of how fast things move, the art of slowing down becomes a real art form because you can't do it. One of the biggest things I learned about being a business is that the minute things start to go well, you start to just expect more out of yourself. So I just think that if you're in a position where you're doing business now, you're figuring out whether you want to scale it up and do all this sort of stuff, just be mindful of the small wins. That small win might be making 1 sale a day. It might be making 1 sale a week. It might be making like 2 times return on your investment every month. Whatever it is. The small wins are what make the big difference. And you kind of got to like really sit and home in on that small win that you can have. I really believe that. I think that this isn't even a somber one either. I didn't mean this to be somber, but I think that whenever I like internally reflect, it's probably when it comes across more of a very subdued, honest perspective. Slowing down's tough. And slowing down to me is the same ballpark as relaxing, as stagnation, as being still. You kind of do this thing, right, where for so long you disconnect yourself from the real world in a little bit of a way. And you disconnect yourself from the world in order to connect yourself to like what you're doing, right? Like just like homing in on the thing you're doing. But as a result of homing in on it, you isolate from a lot of other things. And this isn't like a moment of again, regrets is a word I think you should never really use. I think that everything that's happening to you in your life is supposed to happen in the way that it is. Whether it's perfect or whether it's shit, there's something in there that's trying to teach you. They say that when you do the same thing again that's negative, you haven't learned the lesson from the thing that you keep doing. So if you keep like seeing that same person, or if you keep eating that same type of food, there's some lesson that you're yet to learn from that, if it's like a frictional point. If you're somebody who eats Quavers every single day and you love the crisps and you have there's no accountability to you going, oh no, I shouldn't eat these. If you like that, then there's not that sort of resistance in your mind. I know that was like the weirdest analogy for that. But what I mean is, it's like, if you do something that there's a frictional point in your mind internally about, it just means that you haven't learned the lesson from it. For me, I don't know why I'm turning this into like some sort of podcast therapy video right now, but let me just go with it. If you're watching it to this point, big up to you, seriously. I really do appreciate it. And we're not even started on the journey that we're doing, but the goal is being still. The goal is being still and being happy in the stillness. And stillness isn't even stagnation. Stillness is just like being the person that's fixed to a position when there's a time lapse going around you and everything's rushing. You see them moments, like you see them videos where it's like a person stood still and everything's moving around. Like that stillness is what we should all kind of like really warm to and home to, because stillness is like focus, isn't it? And focus is like a collection of like what you're doing. I think at the moment I'm just realizing that I don't have my stillness and I'm not slowing down, and there's this inner, I would say that it's actually like a physical feeling right now, like an internal physical feeling of like a very like taut, tight feeling. And I watched this meditative practice many times, and it kind of like homes on sort of, so anybody could do this right now, and it's like where you're sitting right now, where do you feel tension in your body? Where's somewhere that like your mind instantly thinks in your body? And then you kind of look at that feeling of where you are. So mine's like in my chest, right? And then you kind of feel like, what is that feeling? Is it tight? Does it feel warm? Does it feel like, I don't know, like unstructured? What's the feeling? And then like you can kind of like internally, like, not diagnose yourself, but you can be like, you know, people that have tight chests can like be feeling like a higher rate, like feeling of anxiety. You know, certain different parts of your body can associate different things, but taking that moment to like feel in your body and go, so something's feeling in my neck, so maybe I'm feeling like, and it's not like that sort of silly dream, like weird, like airy-fairy way of like analyzing it. It's just that you can sort of take a mindful approach and be still. And being still just calms the mind, it calms the thoughts, it just collects your state of being. Even this video right now, even doing this, has made me feel calmer because I've taken a moment to sit. And believe it or not, I don't do this that often. You probably already go, I know, Sven. And just be aware. And I think over the last few weeks of taking moments in stillness, I realised something needs to change. Because if nothing changes. So I'm going to work on the art of stillness, and I'm going to work on the art of slowing down in order to work on other things. Like slowing down is a real, like, I'm trying to say it in a way where it's like, it's not actually to say don't do as much work, but slowing down as in like figuring out what you're trying to achieve from everything you do, and figuring out like what you're in a rush to do it for. And I think what I've realized is the videos on YouTube, I've made them in a rush. I've been in a rush to think I'm getting to this point. There's this monetization, there's all this, but I really just got to be in love with the videos I make, and I've got to fall in love with the process of creating value that you guys can consume. Because that's where I want to do. Like that, I want to give you value on what I've learned before I get to a point and I can't be asked to talk about secondhand vintage clothing anymore. No, that's a joke, but there's a part of me that's excited for different chapters of what might ensue for me. And it centrals around content and seeing what that will be. So this is just my sort of way of saying that I will be going down to doing one video a week. My goal is to maintain a good standard with that video a week. My goal is to essentially do a video a week, realize that I miss it so much, and figure out how to make that video the best it can be, whether it's so sharply edited, well effect created and whatever, just a video that's good, that you watch and you go, wow, I could probably even watch that again. But who knows? The videos might be the exact same, but just one day a week. I don't know yet. All I know is that I've took accountability for the fact that I need to slow down. And yeah, I feel like it's a really hard one. I feel like I need to put more focus on my personal life. But I don't really know what that means yet. I don't know what that means yet. I just know that if I slow down, then I might understand more about what I'm slowing down for, or what all of it means. You know, I'm just like reading and listening to my body, understanding, you know, as things that we should all kind of like sit in that state of being. Like, you know, like some people you'll see, like, or you'll overhear a conversation and people going, oh my God, like I thought he was having like this for dinner, he was having this. And you think, you look at some people's like the worries and the concerns of like, you know, you're living in that state of worry over really nothing. And even though like we all live different worlds, like somebody's like dinner choice might be as important as my business move that could cost thousands of pounds here and there. But the principle is still the same, isn't it? It's still having a reaction to something internally. And I feel good, but I want to feel great. And I want to feel like on top of the bloody world, the best version, and just in a good state. So I'm just going to switch it up. if anybody wants to know anything like bail related and stuff like that, I do sell them, and the link is down below, and you're more than welcome to have a little flutter. Send me a message anywhere, TikTok, Instagram. I'd say TikTok is the best at the moment. Also, this is an Amazon sweatshirt that says Peak. I don't know why I put this one on. I've also got a super dry beanie and sliders that are killing my feet off. But, you know, you didn't expect anything less. Work with me on this one, and I think that it's going to bring a better outcome. It's going to bring a better outcome for the value that I'll give in the form of the other content I'm making outside of this. And maybe I'll be able to pull my finger out and get that stuff to you delivered a bit quicker than I was hoping for, with a bit of a switch. So guys, absolutely love you all to bits, and really appreciate all your like dedicated time to sit there and listen, or sit there and watch, or basically consume the things that I say with some output that they're interesting or they're useful. But yeah, I don't want to water myself down too much. I don't want to become one of them people that ends up just a flipping zombie to the content, not really putting value out, just going, make video. So yeah, this is my gut feeling, pulling me back at the right time, and hopefully it's the right decision. But either way, nothing changes if nothing changes. So that's what I'm sitting in. So guys, stay safe, stay sustainable, keep doing you, and I will see you on Monday next week for another video. I will still be posting reels throughout the week that will just be basically videos from TikTok that are, in my eyes, more suitable to the value that they could have for the YouTube audience as well. So yeah, guys, lots of love. I'm gonna go and get myself some food now because we're hungry, and yeah, appreciate you all as always. Lots of love.